Morning, everybody. Today, the Lord wants me to go into some more of my testimony. I guess where I'd go next is back in 2022. I kept on thinking about the scripture in the end times, many will prophesy, have vision and dreams. It kept on popping into my head. Then I finally said, Lord, do you want me to look into this? Is that what you're trying to tell me? He said, yes. And I was like, okay, well, where am I going to go look for that? I don't know. I've never looked at any of this stuff. Should I go to YouTube? I know I use that for DIY stuff. And he's like, yep, go look there. So I went and I looked in YouTube and he would direct me. At first, I was foolish, frankly, and I wasn't asking him everything. He let me explore around, and some of the things that I heard didn't were contradicting what he was telling me at that point. In hindsight, now I know a lot of these people were correct about what they were saying, but he had not taken me as far as they were. But through that, he also showed me a lot about how, fighting in the spirit. I had no idea how to do that. I had never seen anything like this. Any ministers and that I listened to, nobody was really teaching on that. So I did learn a lot through all that. And then he would send me actually personal messages through them. I knew when they were for me because it'd be something he exactly said to me. So it blew my mind when that started happening. But after he got me into that, then oh boy, like the next year, the next part of my training was I had to learn how to battle in the spirit myself. I had watched it a lot, and heard people praying and all that and how to do it. But, it really didn't sink in. He had not led me to do that yet. I guess I know it was like in April because that was like crazy, crazy times for me. April of 2023. Um, I One day I got up and I was like, I always started my morning and then I'd go to work. So I talked to the Lord for like an hour and then I would start working. I started at 6:30 in the morning. So I talked to him and so I was feeling just fine. Everything was going great. And all of a sudden I sit down to uh, do start working and I just every single thing was making me cranky. I was like, what is wrong with me? I had this when I was younger, but he had fixed it in me, or at least I thought he did. So I just was like, what is wrong with me? So all day long I felt like that. And I was like, what is this? I asked him at the end of the day. He didn't answer me. Let me sit on it all night. So the following morning, I got up, same old routine. I spent my hour with him, and right away, I'm like, Lord, what was that? What was wrong with me? I said, I haven't been like that in so long. And he said, it's a family curse, Linda. And he said, it's going to come again. He said, and as soon as you feel it, I said, well, what am I supposed to do to get rid of it? Tell me, what do I need to do? He said, well, it's going to come again. And he said, as soon as you feel it, I want you to say, I bind and slit the throat of this family curse and I cast you into the pit of hell. And so I was like, "What? Their throat?" Well, he didn't answer me at first. I know now what that means because he finally did answer me on why you say that. Because I'm like, "Wow, I'm gonna slit something's throat." But anyway, I did what he told me because it surely came on later. So the reason that you want to slit their throat is so that you cut their vocal cords, okay? Evil spirits, they talk to us in our minds. If you slit their throat, they can no longer speak, okay? Or, well, we know that the evil one can do surgery. If you've read the book of Enoch, it talks about how he was manipulating DNA and all kinds of stuff. So he knows a lot of stuff. But he's going to be very busy trying to fix all these throats that he's had me slit the throat of. So anyway, uh, so sure enough, I was working for like an hour and here it came again. I could literally feel it like creeping up my hand even. And I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. So I did what he said. Oh my gosh, a snap of a finger, it stopped. And it has not been back since. Um, So I ended the family curse for us, and he never warned me that any of this was going to come. And he knew. He told me after the fact, after I went through all this battling and learning how to do it. He's like, Linda, think about yourself. You've always said that you learn best by learning it yourself. Somebody can show you how to do it, but then the more you're in it, then you figure out more and more. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's me totally. Then I had more and more of witchcraft. Then witchcraft started coming after me. I didn't know what that was. One day I got up and I was getting ready to go to work. I was talking to him, felt fine, and all of a sudden I could not even walk. I had to lay on the floor. I was like, Lord, what is wrong with me? I knew it was something weird. And he said, you're going to have to call in sick today. So I called in sick, or I texted my boss and I said, hey, I can't come in today. I don't feel, I'm not going to be at work. So I need somebody to cover for me. I'm not feeling good. So I was like, I barely made it over to my phone to do that. And then I was like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what is this, Lord? I can't even hardly walk. And he's like, go lay down in the bed. And I'm like, I don't know if I can make it. He said, you'll make it. Just go lay in the bed. So I went and laid in the bed and I slept till like 2 o'clock and I felt like crap the whole time. I was freaking out while I was laying there asking him for help. And he didn't tell me, he let me go through that day, or until like 2 o'clock. Okay. So I woke up at 2 and I still felt terrible. And so then he said, get up. And it was in the springtime and we have sticks everywhere in our yard in the spring. And we had a ton of them this year because it had been so windy. So I was like, he said, get up and go out there and pick up sticks. And I'm like, what, Lord? I'm like, I feel like crap. I don't know if I can even walk. He said, get up and go out there. It'll make you feel better. So I did. So then he turned that into a lesson for me. So as I was picking up these sticks, they're everywhere. I usually take it as like a section and then I'll make a stack and then another section, so I had picked up one section and I went over and I was picking up in another area, and then I was walking back because my hands were full, and I saw that I missed a stick. I said, oh, Lord, how did I miss that? I thought I got this whole area. And then he started using it as a lesson. He said, Linda, we're going to have to pick up many sticks. Okay, since we're all trees, you guys. Okay, don't forget we're a type of tree. um, so we're going to have many sticks that we have to collect. He was telling about me. I'm going to be helping bring in everybody, you guys. This is part of what I'm doing, trying to teach people about the truth. So anyway, he turned that whole thing into a lesson. Well, that kept on witchcraft start. It was witchcraft, he told me. So then he had me throw that all into cancel all this witchcraft and throw it into the pit of hell too. And then eventually he had me actually add boomerang it. So then I started boomeranging it back on the people that were being used by the evil one. Okay. And then I always would just add in there at the same time, I bind and slit the throat of any evil spirits coming after me. And I would say any family curses or any other kind of evil coming against me. Okay. So he was just teaching me how to fight, you guys. So, all the way through this walk, it happens over and over. I've had witchcraft come after me. I don't know how many times. My most recent was really bad. Oh boy, it must have been like 3 months ago. I was fine. I was sitting, it was getting time for me to go to bed. So I got up and all of a sudden I just got behind, have a recliner. So I was sitting in my recliner chatting with him and whatnot. Everything was good. No warning again. All of a sudden, boom, I get up and I'm walking behind the recliner and I had to sit down. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like falling asleep. And then I wake up and then I was like, there it was again. And I could hardly get up off the floor from where I was. But I'm so out of it because it was spells, you guys. So they were putting sleeper spells on me, one after the other, is what he told me after all of this. So then I finally was able to get up and I wasn't even thinking to go to battle, you guys, because it was so different than what had happened in prior or in previous times. So I was like, what on earth is this? So then I went to go walk to my bedroom. I'm like, I just need to get in the bed, and that's all I could think of because I was so out of it. And so then I uh, started walking back, and lo and behold, I fell down my stairs into my basement. I rolled all the way to the bottom, and I was fine. The crazy thing is, I'm not young, you guys. I'm 58 years old. So I'm like, I did not break any bones. My mouth hit. I didn't break my teeth. Geez, I rolled all the way to the bottom of it. I live in just, a two-level home, and it's straight down to the basement. Okay. Yeah. But so I couldn't, my husband heard me because it was clunk, 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 clunk. I even heard it as I fell. And, but then I just laid there. I was falling asleep again. They were still putting spells on me. Okay. And my husband came out and he was looking for me, and I couldn't even call out to him. It was so strange. And, uh, so then he came walking back, and then he saw me at the bottom of the steps. And because he was looking outside to see if something was going on outside. So, so anyway, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, I'm laying here. I'm trying to get up. So he came down the stairs to help me. And, I'm like, I could hear you. So then I was like, don't touch me yet. Let me just get up on my own. So then I got up, and then I went and sat on the lower steps. Okay. And then I fell asleep again, and I fell asleep again, and I fell asleep again. And he's like, he was like, what on earth is going on? And so anyway, I was like, I still hadn't even thought to pray yet, you guys. Okay. To start battling. So then I went up. I said, just walk behind me. I think I'm okay now, and help me just in case. If I just stand behind me so I don't fall back down them. So I was fine. I got up to the bedroom, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is witchcraft. It dawned on me, and I started to get my prayer out, and boom, I fell asleep again and had to lay down on the floor. He was behind me this time. So I didn't fall out and hit something this time. And then I was like, okay, I laid there, and I knew that my prayer had got cut off when I woke up, and then I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay, Ross. And I went into I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. I made it fine in there, and then I was like, okay, I'm binding and doing all that as soon as I get in the bed. I made it back to the bed, and I went into my prayers against witchcraft, and then it was gone. I had no other problems, you guys. So I didn't know that was coming. The Lord didn't warn me either. See, what you got to understand is that the evil one has agreements with God, okay? And with, as the Lord approves what he can do. It's all been planned out. He's made agreements with the evil one, but yet we are taught how to battle it, okay? So you don't get any warning when these kind of things happen, or I don't. He may warn you. Um, but with me, he's made me go through the fire with it, you guys. So, it's a whole, a crazy journey, you guys. I know this sounds like out there, but it is real. And it's every other time besides this sleeper one, it's always at where I can hardly walk. Okay. Um, this one was unique because I just kept falling asleep. It was crazy. And my husband said the next day, geez, you just kept falling asleep. And I said, I know it was witchcraft. And they haven't attacked him this way. Okay, he's walking. He's not as deep in as I am, but they aren't attacking him like they have me, because he's not a threat to them. He's not fighting for the kingdom. The Lord has me intercessing too. I'm a night watchman too. That's been part of my walk. So, like for 2 years, he's had me getting up in the middle of the night, switching me around. Sometimes it's midnight, sometimes it's 3 a.m., sometimes it's the very first shift of the night watch, and I'm battling in the spirit for everybody all night. After I had gone through some of this myself, then he gave me authority to battle for others. Okay, he does it all step by step. I didn't know that's where he was leading me, but that's what it turned out. All right, I'm going to stop there, and then I'll come back and tell you guys some more. Bye bye.